Welcome to this week's episode of Humans in 5.
A few weeks ago, we had a little chat about that sweet sensation many runners get after heading out for a nice long session. As a little refresher, recent research suggests that our bodies produce hormones that are pretty similar to the chemicals present in marijuana. And these hormones give us that uniquely intense sensation of elation when out for a run.
So today, we'd like to explore a different type of altered perception that we can get from our own bodies without the assistance of any external substances. Hallucinations. Hallucinations are situations where people see, smell, feel, taste, and hear things that don't exist in the real world. Hallucinations exist only in our minds.
People often associate hallucinations with the use of drugs and medications that alter our brain chemistry. However, you don't actually need the help of external stimulants to cause hallucinations. In fact, you can make them pretty well on your own without much stimuli at all.
This can occur through a trick your brain plays on you called the Ganzfeld Effect. The Ganzfeld Effect describes our brain's ability to create structure and patterns out of unstructured stimuli. Basically, when our minds are presented with uniform but somewhat blank stimuli, like a blank sheet of paper or white noise, our processing and integration centers try to make sense out of this vague external information.
Our brains want to find patterns as we experience the world. So when we take external information away, our minds start to get a little creative. When experiencing a plain field of vision or unclear sound, we start to hallucinate, auditorily and visually. Our minds create sounds and images that seem real, despite not actually being there. People report seeing geometric patterns, lights and colors, or hearing voices, even though none of that is real.
Even though this effect was first described in the 1930s, the process of using uniform stimuli to induce hallucinations by making your brain look for patterns that aren't actually there has been applied for millennia. In ancient Greece, philosophers would go into dark caves to achieve enlightenment. Today, people use sensory deprivation tanks, which are relatively soundproof and lightproof, to try and achieve an altered state.
These applications of the Ganzfeld effect sometimes help people become more creative. However, on the darker side, this effect has been used against people's will as a form of torture. Hallucinations are not a good thing to experience if you weren't looking to have them.
There's a lot of awesome and complex brain mechanisms involved in this creation of information out of chaos. But the real question is why our brains feel the need to structure when there's none to be found. It seems that our brains don't actually do that well without stimuli or without any external information.
Our evolutionary specialization of being able to take in, process, and integrate new information has left our brains so primed for receiving and interpreting stimuli that when there isn't any, our minds try and pull some sense from the void. This process can send us on a crazy hallucination-riddled trip, but without any of the side effects we might get from other chemicals capable of doing the same job.
If you're curious and keen to experiment with the grey and white matter lodged between your ears, check out this video from the Scam School. They do a great job at demonstrating how you can create your own Ganzfeld mind lab in the safety and comfort of your own home.
Thanks for spending another trippy week with us, and we'll see you next time on Humans in 5.
See you then!